I'm sorry for the depressing title of the video, but this is true. This is what happens with majority of the IELTS candidates. Most people cannot pass the score of 6.5. They cannot pass that to jump to 7 bands or more. Why is that? Why is it that 80% people who try IELTS for the first time fail in writing? They keep getting 6.5. And if you do the second or third attempt, you realize at that point, this is not easy, this is hard. You do some better preparation, your chances get better as you do more attempts. But even then, there are people who are stuck at this for years, not even months, for years. And this is something that prevents you from going to your immigration dreams, from getting to your education. And I had a request, I think 3 days ago, from someone who has been failing this exam since 2017. Right now it's 2023. It's been 6 years. I had another student many, many years ago. She failed IELTS 25 times and then switched to TOEFL. In this video, we're going to discuss why this happens, why this might happen to you, and what are the best ways to address this. Can you improve things within IELTS writing, or should you just give up, or should you switch? I'll tell you this based on actual statistics, based on the requests we get, based on our student performance, and based on proven techniques that actually work. So the first reason why a lot of people, most people, it's not even a lot, it's like most, over 50% all the time, they fail in IELTS writing and they get a 6.5 is because 7 bands plus is supposed to be complex. Everything needs to be advanced. You cannot go in the exam and write basic vocabulary. You cannot write words like good, bad, ugly, beautiful. You have to write everything advanced. It could be brilliant, detrimental, beautiful. Instead of beautiful, you would say extravagant, and instead of harmful, you would say detrimental. You see, everything has to be complex. And it doesn't have to be 100% complex. They do like simple sentences as well. You want to keep a mixture of complex and simple sentences, but mostly complex. You want to write at a level that a PhD level writer in English literature would write, a poet would write. It is very ridiculous, and it's not like you can just go in with correct English. Maybe you have good grammar, but you cannot just go in with that and write simple sentences and expect that, hey, if I don't make a mistake, I'm going to get a 7+. No. You need to, first of all, not make a mistake, but also everything you write should be complex. It should be advanced. We have a detailed lesson on this channel on complex sentences, which you can check out. Our most advanced version of our templates that you can copy paste and complex sentences with a lot more detail with examples are mentioned in our course that you can check out in the description right now at a 20% discount. So check that out. That is something that guarantees your result or your money back. No kidding. You can check it out in the description. But not having that complexity in your sentences, range in your sentences, you will not get a 7. Simple as that. Now, let's talk about mistakes, okay? What if you do 2 or 3 grammar mistakes? I mean, the top mark is 9. So if you make 2 mistakes, maybe you will go to 8, right? You can go to 6.5 if you just make 2 grammar mistakes. Well, here's my experience. If you make 2 grammar mistakes, you're going to be down to 7. Just 2 mistakes, because when you're doing the exam super well, when you're too good, the examiner is looking for every single mistake they can find. Every little comma, every little full stop, every sentence correction, anything that is wrong makes you lose marks very quick. Compared to if you were already scoring a 4 or 5 and you made 3 more comma mistakes, nobody cares. Your score will remain unchanged because it's already pretty bad. You already have 90 mistakes. What if you have 93? Nobody cares. But if you have no mistakes and you make 1 mistake, you can lose 0.5 to 1 band. It's very serious when it's really good, and that's a problem too because now every mistake is important. If you make 3 or more mistakes, there's a very high chance you will not get a band 7. That's how serious it is. Of course, there are other factors, but keep in mind, do not make more than 2 mistakes. And if you can even avoid 2, it's better because think of it like this. You make 2 mistakes, you go to a 7. Of course, there might be 1 more mistake somewhere else, even if there's the examiners are expert at finding your mistake. So make sure to not even make any mistake. And I'm talking here about grammar. That's mostly the common mistake when it comes to English writing. We'll talk about task response and other things. Those are other problems which we have on this list. But in terms of grammar, one thing you can do is download Grammarly. It's a free AI software. It will mark your grammar for you. And if you do need a coach that will teach you why your grammar is not improving and what your mistakes are, you can contact us. Our email is in the description. Let's talk about task response. Point number 3. This is where a lot of people fail as well. What you have explained might be something that the examiner doesn't agree with. And this examiner might not agree with it. Another examiner might agree with it. Every human being is going to be different. And because it's so subjective, they can easily fail you. For example, let's say you're writing task 2, okay? And the topic is about global warming. And you're talking about the problems of global warming. And you mention a problem that global warming is serious because it's bad for the environment, it damages the environment, and it can kill a lot of people if it does that. That's your point, for example. The examiner might say, this does not explain to me why or how global warming causes harm to the environment. I want an explanation which is detailed, which is something like global warming raises the temperature of the earth, which leads to glaciers melting, leading to higher water or levels all over the world, which then culminates in natural disasters. At the same time, the carbon dioxide gases that are stuck in the environment cause breathing issues, whatever, okay? This is the explanation I want, and the student did not provide me that. This is a very common concern and a common reason why people lose marks on task response. It's subjective. Maybe your English is good, but the examiner feels you didn't answer the question. The best strategy here is to make sure you explain the why behind everything, just like I did. Don't just say global warming destroys the environment, but why or how, okay? If you give enough reasons, there's a good chance the examiner will not have any objection. They'll try to find objections, but they won't be able to, all right? So make sure your task response always answers why or how. Now, the other point I've written here, point number 4, is everything else. You have task response, and if you know the marking criteria, you have task response, grammar, vocabulary, and coherence or structure. You need to make sure all these points are hitting, you're getting marks in all these points. You're hitting all the criteria here. Remember, guys, again, I'm going to summarize this. Task response is how you have responded to the question. Have you answered the why and how? Have you looked at the structure? That's the coherence. Are your ideas structured? Are they fluent? Do they have a flow? Check out our templates. They are on this website, on YouTube. HZad Education IELTS writing templates. They show you the structure that you should follow for each question. So that should help you out. The third thing is grammar, of course. You want to make no grammar mistakes. And the fourth thing is the range of vocabulary. You got to make sure all 4 points are really good. And if even one, as I said, in grammar, if you make 2 mistakes, you lose 7 bands. So you have to focus on all these things. That's why my point said everything. Literally, you want to focus on that. And the last thing, the 5th reason why majority of these students are stuck at 6.5 bands for years is they're not unique enough. This is very similar to the point I mentioned above about being complex, using complex sentences, phrases, and advanced vocab. That will help you not be common, not be usual. If you are writing just like every other student with basic sentences, basic words, something that your friend sitting on the left and right would be writing too, you will not get a 7+. For 7+, you need to be extraordinary. Your sentences need to be having a range. They need to be complex. You need to use good connectors. You need to use points and explanations that other students won't. Don't think of it as a basic English exam that you have seen or done in high school. This is on another level when it comes to writing. So using, of course, complexity in vocab and range is important, but also structures. If you're using very basic structures, for example, with discuss both sides, how many paragraphs are we supposed to do? If you answered 4, you're doing the same thing that everybody is doing. You need to do 5. There's a format for that. I think I have a video, and if I don't, I'll make another one on it. There should be 5 paragraphs on discuss both sides. On the 2-sided questions, when you're getting 2 questions, the direct question it's called, you should also have 5 paragraphs, not 4. You want to stand out. You have to be unique. You have to come up with something original and different. That will help you raise your mark and go over a 6.5 band. This is a struggle, guys. These are the reasons why we're stuck at 6.5 bands, but you can do it. A lot of people even now are getting 8, 8.5 in writing. They're following these rules, so please follow them as well. And if you want the detailed version of this with examples and real-life questions, real-life exam questions, check out the link in the description. The course teaches you all these skills and ensures you get a 7+. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. We'll talk soon.